All right. Corey, again, day to day, he's not going to participate in practice today. JFM is dealing with an illness, so we sent him home. And then Dwayne, Jermaine, Quincy, and Ashton will be limited.
Jermaine have a chance this week?
He's got a chance. We'll see how this week goes.
What does James Robinson bring to the table for you guys? What do you like about him?
He looks like Michael in stature, but he's a one-cut runner. He gets downhill in a hurry. Really good compliment to what Ty Johnson and Michael bring to the table. So just keep trying to keep that versatility to our room. Obviously, losing Brees is a big blow, but James Robinson's a pretty good football player too. So.
How'd that come together? Like when that trade, because it seems like Brees Hall goes down, you guys right away get the trade for James Robinson. Did those conversations start like right after Hall got hurt? I mean, when did Joe kind of come to you and say, "Hey, this is an opportunity to get"?
It was just all the discussions on Monday morning, and then Joe goes and does his thing. I don't want to speak for Joe. I know he'll be talking to you guys soon. So
with Robinson. The coaches in Jacksonville had mentioned knee soreness as a reason why he didn't play. Is he going to practice today? Does he have anything?
Yeah, he's going to practice. He passed all our physicals. He passed all those tests, so we feel comfortable with where he's at, and we'll see where he gets during the course of the week. Obviously, we activated. We brought up Bam also, so we're going to take it slow, see where he's at with regards to the offense, and so it'll be day to day with that running back room.
The hope would be though that he plays.
Sure, but you never know.
What do you see from the Patriots, Robert?
The same thing you see, just a very, very sound football team, very disciplined football team, very well-coached football team. And, I know the Monday night, we have recency bias with Monday night, but they've been, they beat up Cleveland pretty good. They beat up Detroit pretty good. They've been getting better every single week. And so we're expecting that normal New England outfit to come in here and play their brand of football.
Is 54-13 in people's minds this week? Is it something that's talked about?
You can talk to individuals. I mean, if it's, that was last year. We're a different team than last year. So it's, but that'd probably be more of an individual question for other people.
Do you prepare for both quarterbacks? How does that work?
Their offense can be the same regardless. They've got things that they like. Quarterbacks have different styles to their pass game, so we'll be well aware of both. But their system is their system, and it's a very good system. Hats off to Patricia and Joe Judge. Are doing a great job with that group. So we're expecting. We know the nuances. It's just preparing for their system.
Robert, with Zach, I know you said that he doesn't need to be Tom Brady, and Monday it was when you said you're not worried about the passing attack or anything like that. But when you evaluate him as a quarterback, do you want to see a little bit more from him? Do you want him to elevate his game a little bit? I mean, how do you assess him individually? Yeah,
we want him to get the lack of patience, for a better word. Like, of course, you always want to see your guys just taking huge steps, but you've got to be able to sit back and really try to paint the picture of what's actually happening. Thought he did a really nice job against Pittsburgh. Again, I've referenced the fourth quarter in the Pittsburgh game. That was unbelievable pocket presence, getting the ball where it needed to go. Really good football. The Miami game, if Brees Hall scores on those two big touchdown passes, we're not talking about whether or not he's thrown touchdown passes in the last 3 games. He would have had 2 of them. He just got tackled at the one. And then you just look at the last 2 defenses. They've made a lot of really, really good quarterbacks look really, really, really bad. And Zach's not the first or the last that it's going to happen to. Those are 2 really good pass defenses that we've played. So we still got a lot of faith in Zach, and he's going to continue to have improvement. And for sure, you want to see dramatic improvement every week. But the other guys get paid too, and so we're not wavering on where he is. We still think he's getting a lot better, and with the division we're in, every single week is going to be a tremendous challenge. And at the end of the day, he's only going to get better for all this.
Robert, will Elijah go through everything today? Elijah
Yep.
Moore?
Mm-hmm.
Did you have your conversation with him, and how did that go?
We've had talk. He's good. We're all good, and he's go out and do what he does, and see if we can get him the ball and make a few plays.
Patriots are really good at forcing turnovers. What have you seen from that makes them so good at that, and how important is ball control against them?
Forever, New England has forever been a team that just feasts on your mistakes, and the reason why they're such a good ball hawking defense is because I've said it before, they've been coaching that system for what seems like 100 years, and they know every single detail, and the players are so well coached because of all the detail that goes into what they coach, and they can anticipate and they know how teams are going to attack them, and they can be opportunistic, and so you've got to be very ball conscious as an offense to make sure that you're not giving them freebies. And so that's always going to be the challenge when you play New England. The more comfortable you are in a system, the more you can cheat, knowing what your weaknesses are. And you see it all on their tape. They're, again, very well coached. They're very disciplined. They play fast, and they do a really nice job.
What have you seen from Judon?
Freakazoid. He's a dog. He's really fast off the edge. He's an absolute problem. And young Buck on the other side is doing a pretty damn good job too. So they're really good on the outsides, especially creating pressure. And he's having a really nice year.
With Elijah, did the time off, you think, work? Like, was that a little bit of time away? I mean, has he come back rejuvenated?
I think he's always going to have that mindset. I don't think. I think if he would have practiced last week, he would have practiced like he always does. He works his butt off. He plays his butt off. He's always trying to do good. It's just, last week happened, but I don't think it's going to change his approach in terms of how hard he plays this game. He loves it. He just wants to contribute, like I've said. So maybe he has some fresh legs. I don't know, but from a mental standpoint and his approach to the game, I don't think it's going to change.
Robert, other than him being physically present today, has Elijah said anything to you that would make you believe he is 100% committed, as he articulated that, 100% committed to the team?
Yeah, he is. I mean, I don't think he was ever. I mean, it's hard to explain. Like, I don't think he's. When you talk to him, and again, these are discussions you guys can have with him, but he's been fine. Is there frustration? Was there frustration? Is there frustration? There probably still is in terms of what he wants his role to be from a ball production standpoint. But I don't think it changes. Like, he's not quitting on anybody. He's not out there dogging it. He's not sitting on his helmet. He's not skipping and holding out and faking injuries. He's not doing any of that. He just wants to contribute. And so the question of whether he's locked in meetings and doing what he needs to do in practice, that's not a non-question to me. He's going to be fine.
Does he still want to be traded?
I don't know. I didn't ask him.
Can you get back to us?
Robert, we met with Sauce at the Combine over at Zoom. It's like, how did you gauge his personality, and did that play a factor in drafting him?
Well, we had him on the 30 visits. That was really the only face-to-face that we had with him. I know we sent out for other talks too, but and we had the Zooms. But he's the personality is what we all knew, and the play style, all of it. It was confirmation, if anything. But you put so much work in these young men to validate what you see, and knock on wood, he's only going to get better. He's only scratching the surface, but he's fun to coach.
Robert, when you look at your defenses in San Francisco, I mean, I think you had good corners, and with no disrespect to those guys, and I know you had Sherman, he was kind of on the back nine of his career when you got him, and you were still a very successful defense with that secondary. Now you have DJ, who's playing at a Pro Bowl level. You have Sauce that's doing things that generally rookies don't do. How much better can your defense get, and how much more does this allow your defense to do when you have two corners, specifically Gardner, that are playing like he is?
It was funny, in walkthrough I was talking about how Sherm, if he ever reached 18 miles an hour on the GPS, it was a rough day for him because no one ever threw his way because of his presence. It was like he just watched football the whole game, and the challenge to Ahmad is to go take the ball, and he'll have a bunch of days like that too, where he's not having to defend goal balls, and he's so freaking close. Keep trying him, but the communication, you want our guys to continually get faster. How much better? I don't know. We're going to have hard days. It's going to happen. You know, this league is too good. There's a lot of great quarterbacks in this league, but at the same time, I think our group is so confident right now, and they're playing so tight and communicating so well. And Albrecht and the staff are doing such a phenomenal job with regards to game planning and putting guys in the right positions so they can showcase who they are and their skill set. And so who knows, you know, how good it can get, but so far it's been really good.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Could I ask you just to, for fun, kind of revisit the receipts quote from earlier in the season? Like, what do you think the impact was in your locker room? Was that like an off-the-cuff moment for you? Like, do you mind me just asking about it? Because it seems to me the guys are backing it up.
Kind of wanted to go away. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was you guys know me. I was a little off character, and because I try to keep a measured response up here, but I don't. That's more for them. I don't think it really. They just want to go away. That's
Why do you say that you want it to go away?
because you just want to go play football. Eliminate all distractions. You know, you try your best to keep all the distractions on me and out of the locker room. That's basically what my whole charge is to keep the locker room clean so it can play fast and think free and think about football only. And so, you know, whatever I have to do to make sure that happens, I'll do. But I think our guys are in a really good place mentally. We're still going to face adversity as the year goes on. But I think we have such a cool group of guys who just love this game and really appreciate one another and how hard each other works. That I think they're doing a good job ignoring noise. But yeah, that's about it.
Why do you love coaching this team?
Because they all love ball. It's easy to coach a guy when you know that they love the game of football, because you can coach them. You can coach them hard. You can be honest with people. We can jump in our team meetings and we can show clips that are not very comfortable, and they embrace it, and they don't look at things as being attacked but rather being challenged, which is a huge difference from a personality standpoint. When you love the game, you're not feeling like you're being attacked because you want to find a way to get better, and so it's just a fun group to coach. It when they're focused on things they got control over, they play as hard as they do. They love each other the way they do. It makes it fun.
Aside from the media, why do you love coaching here?
I love you guys, man. Are you kidding me? You know what? This fan base is the fan base mainly is it's a phenomenal fan. It's a passionate fan base. You know, it's amazing. You know, you sit back and you realize, like, all the big wigs and all the media market, like, everyone's a Jets fan, and you go to Long Island and everyone's a Jet fan, and you walk around Jersey and New York and it just seems like everyone's a Jet fan, and they're proud no matter what, and so it makes you proud to wear these colors. It makes you proud to be a Jet, and so hopefully it stays that way for the next. Hopefully we get a Bill Belichick run.
Speaking of that run, it's been like 20 years that the Patriots have kind of been the dominant force in this division. Some of your predecessors have leaned into that. You know, Rex once said he wasn't here to kiss Belichick's rings. Others have said just another game, it's the next game on the schedule. Where do you kind of fall in that with your message to the team in terms of the Patriots are a little different than other teams, but maybe you try to downplay that?
A division game, and it's boring. Every game's a championship game. Every moment's a championship moment. I acknowledge that Bill is arguably one of the greatest coaches that's ever coached in this game. I'll honor that for forever, and he's given to this game so much, and he's done so much for this game that we'd be remiss not to acknowledge that. New England, we'd be remiss to acknowledge that they have dominated for 20 years, but at the same time, it's a championship moment and a championship game, no different than last week was, and no different than next week will be. And so we just got to keep the main thing, and focus on today's moment, because today's practice is a championship practice. And if we continue to keep that mindset, it doesn't matter who you play, you treat them all the same.
Connor, do you have to remind your players that after the way that New England lost to Chicago, that they're maybe a little bit even more dangerous now, having lost that game?
They know that. We've all been in the locker room after getting punched in the mouth and then having to come back and respond. Last year, you know, we talk about that loss against New England. We bounced back and beat a 5-2 Cincinnati team, if I remember right. the famous Mike White game. So these guys understand. They know what they're feeling like in that locker room. Denver was back against the wall. We played Green Bay with their backs against the wall. So they understand. They're not. But at the same time, and it goes back to what I just mentioned, when you treat everything like a championship game and a championship moment, it doesn't matter what the opponent's doing. It doesn't matter how they're feeling. It doesn't matter what they're bringing. It's about your mindset and how you approach it.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, guys.
You're trending on Twitter right now, by the way.